Over the weekend on social media, former Fair City actress Jenny Dixon explained what she had experienced over the weekend walking down Wicklow Street on Sunday morning. And Jenny joins me on the line. Jenny, good morning and welcome to Opinions Matter.
Hi Adrian, how are you? Thanks for having me.
I'm good, thanks Jenny. Nice to talk to you. So there you are, yesterday morning on Wicklow Street in Dublin city centre. Tell me what happened.
It was just out of the blue. I was having one of those random, very happy, kind of blasé kind of moments. I had just done some shopping. I was in town early. I was all very pleased with myself. And just passing by cornucopia vegan restaurants, and I was actually just like observing the alfresco diners and thinking how nice it is. Things are opening up, the summer is starting, and you know it's something to celebrate. And I actually wasn't even aware I still had my mask on, but I wasn't bothered either. You know, I wouldn't be totally embarrassed if I realised I was on. But also, though, as in the open air, I would take it off. You know, but I just was unaware. And you know, in that part of the street, it's quite narrow. And even pre-pandemic, I would just like sidestep and, you know, make way for others from, you know, just it speeds everything up, doesn't it? Just kind of open the road up. And so I guess I kind of did that. I kind of sidestepped and you know those moods where you're just so blissfully unaware of anything. But I did notice this like tall man in his 40s come towards me. And I noticed he was well dressed, as I noticed the alfresco diners. I was just observing everything going by. And he just stopped suddenly and addressed the diners, but also addressed me. And it was just a bit startling. And I had my cap on, I had my mask on. So, you know, I was unaware. And he just shouted at the diners and told them to stay 2 meters apart, very authoritatively, because you're scaring the woman with the mask. And,
really?
You know, it takes a second to kind of register. Oh, I think I'm the woman with the mask.
Right.
God. I'm in this is like a panto scene, like I'm back doing panto again. Like I didn't realize I was signed into a new like hidden camera type show. That's, you know, these things go through your head. And he said, "Look, she's living in fear. Look at her." And yeah, I decided to not flinch too much and walk on, because I knew that he really wanted a stage. And I didn't want to give him that stage at my expense, you know.
So this wasn't a young fella of 15 walking around the street saying, "Oh, Mrs. look at you with your mask on." This was a mature man who decided he was going to have a laugh at your expense.
Yeah, it was because, you know, on one hand, like, I had some comments when I wrote up the story, like, oh, you know, did he think he was being chivalrous? Was he protecting you? But there was a clear, and I'm all for chivalry and old-fashioned manners, but there was definitely a clear air of passive-aggressive mockery and patronising kind of, you know, targeting of me. And when you mention a 15-year-old, 15-year-olds, in my experience, are very adaptable and going with it. And you see 15-year-olds all around the country not a bother wearing masks. So no, it was a man in his 40s, well-dressed, well-spoken, well-educated, perhaps, decided to single me out as I walked along on my Sunday stroll. Yeah.
How annoying. Now, one of the things that you said in your social media comment over the weekend was, yes, the world might need a few things right now, but I'm pretty sure mocking and pointing at others is not one of them. Just some casual Sunday thoughts. Now, like you said, Jenny, you're just going about your business, doing your own thing, and this idiot, because a lot of people have been, and the hashtag COVIDiots has trended regularly over the last year and a half nearly. And that's what you see idiots like that as, COVIDiots.
Yeah, I mean, like I debated whether to write it up. Sometimes I would do, you know, I enjoy writing, and I debated whether I'd write it up. There's like, I think, more of a stage. And there was about an hour where I was kind of like toing and froing in my mind, like, and would I let it kind of affect the rest of my Sunday, or would I just, like, you know, say it as it came across, which was kind of farcical. So that was the tone I wrote it in. It was a farce. And if he doesn't want to wear a mask outdoors, it's his choice. If I do wear a mask outdoors because I'm just, unawares or whatever reason, that's fine. I mean, all around the world they wear masks, even pre-pandemic, like Asia, and religious reasons and environmental reasons. It's just right now that I guess the world as a whole is getting used to masks.
And sorry, so you bring up a good point, Jenny, because before COVID was even a thing, us here in this part of the world, we used to mock Asian people for wearing masks. When you'd go on holidays and you'd see them walking down the street on holidays wearing face masks, and you go, why?
For what purpose?
For what purpose? Why are they doing it? And I think that's where it stems from, that we still, even a year and a half on, we still haven't got to grips. We still find it very strange. And it is strange. I was in Dundrum Town Centre the other day, and I'm going down the elevator, and I'm looking around me, and I see everybody masked up. And even though it's a year and a half later, it still is kind of alien to us, isn't it?
Yeah, but we've gotten used to it as well. It's become the norm. Oh, we've lost Jenny, I think, there. I found myself over the weekend, I was going into a petrol station and I didn't have a mask with me. And I found myself, walking in, covering up my face with my
T-shirt. They probably thought you were going to rob the place, did they?
No, but that's the way the world has gone, that I was very conscious about actually not having a mask walking into this particular petrol station yesterday. Jenny, I think we have you back there, have we? No.
Yes, she is there, yep.
No, she's not.
Oh, is she not? Okay.
No. Anyway, 085 825 2626 is our WhatsApp number. Let's have a listen to this from Leonard.
Good morning, Adrian and Jeremy. Happy Monday. I'm Leonard, and I live in, I've been on to you many times before. Anyway, Leonard from Las Palmas in Gran Canaria. And last Saturday, because I'm part of Spain, the restrictions were lifted on wearing the masks in public. So now we don't have to wear the masks like in the street. And yesterday I was on the way to the beach with some friends, and we were all wearing our masks, because we are going to continue wearing our masks until we feel completely safe, but that's a personal choice. Anyway, this group of, as Jeremy said, heads, I love the word, said, "Oh, you stupid lot, wake up," and all this carry on. But it didn't bother us at all, because we're expecting this, and like I say, we're going to continue wearing the mask until we feel safe. It's a personal choice, full stop. Cheers, guys. Bye.
All right, so he doesn't have to wear a face mask in Spain anymore outdoors, but he's continuing to do so. Now, I don't really understand that. Why would you? I can't wait to get the face mask off my face. I really can't.
But you also have to respect. You have to respect that some people are very, very nervous still about it, even if they're fully vaxxed. They may be nervous about it. And we'll do a social experiment in a couple of moments with you, the listeners, to find out. Well, in fact, we'll do it now, just to find out how people react to this. And we're talking about in a public place, okay? In a public place, or at a bus stop, or outside, or in the park. I mean, I've even seen people at the weekend wearing face masks while walking to the park with their friends. But you don't know the circumstances. You don't know where the fear is coming from. So send us a WhatsApp now, 085 825 2626. 085 825 2626. It's a simple question, okay? And the question is, what is your reaction? What do you think? What goes through your mind when you see somebody wearing a mask in a public place, okay?
For the purposes of this, we're talking about outdoors, obviously.
Yeah, outdoors.
Yeah, because we all have to wear one in a supermarket and whatever.
Yeah.
085 825 2626 is our number. What is your reaction? What goes through your head when you see somebody out in the fresh air wearing a face mask?
Yes.
Just send a WhatsApp to 085 825 2626, because we've been talking with Jenny Dixon, and Jenny was describing how she was out for a stroll yesterday. I have her back on the line here. Jenny, you hadn't even realised that you had the bloody thing on, because you can forget, can't you?
Yeah, definitely. Just when you go into a shop, sometimes you can forget, oh gosh, I need to put my mask on. You can forget the opposite way around, we're all just getting used to this. And yeah, I mean, it's not uncomfortable. I hadn't even realised I hadn't taken it off. Yeah. And all of a sudden I was in this outdoor theatrical show that he was putting on for all his sidewalk diners, you know.
And did you find,
yeah.
I know you didn't stop to engage with him, but did you find it a bit intimidating?
Yeah, I think slightly, like more so kind of as I walked on, I was just a little thrown from the great mood I was in, and was like, was that passive aggressive? Was that, you know, should I have stopped? Should I have, you know, told him, you know, politely that whatever, you know, was to come to mind? And I was just a little thrown. So, like we see people all the time wearing masks, not wearing masks, or the elderly who are, you know, very thrown by all this wearing masks. And you might feel for some people and just observe people's different reactions. But I'd never be one to point and mock and for someone's choice, you know.
All right. Well, as you said, you're entitled to go about your business on the street. And if you want to wear a mask, you wear a mask. If you don't, you don't. Can I ask you actually, Jenny, does it bother you wearing masks? I have to say, the one thing that I'm looking forward to at some stage in 2021 is us not having to wear the bloody things anymore. I can't stand wearing them. And I know an awful lot of people are the same. Are you like that, or does it bother you wearing them?
I think it has benefits in terms of like it probably will have a knock-on effect and reduce the cold and flu season perhaps. Also, you know, parts of the world where it's for pollution, or myself, I suffer with hay fever and allergies and things. And I wonder, is there benefits to perhaps having it at certain times? But of course, I do look forward to the day where there's no compulsion to wear it. And if you do wear it, like we observed East Asians and, you know, different cultures wearing us on the regular, it's out of a choice thing, or, you know, whatever personal decision they made. But of course, I'm looking forward to the day where you can walk freely into a restaurant or a bar and actually smile at someone and
see their face in return. Yeah,
and not just have to express everything through your eyes, because I'd say my eyes were expressing something yesterday when it happened.
All right. So basically, if somebody is walking about the street and they happen to have a face mask on, mind your own bloody business. That's really the point, isn't it?
Yeah, I kind of respect people in a way when I see them, you know, in a busy part of town wearing it, because I just think, that they're doing their part to stop the spread. They're actually protecting others. And I just kind of think, fair play to you, you know. Obviously, we know we need to have it indoors, but it doesn't bother me either way. But it's more so a thing of like, God, fair play to them. I wonder, should I have it on? It is quite busy. You know, there are thoughts that go through my head, really.
All right. Just before I let you go, Jenny, I want to just play a WhatsApp that's after coming in. I've been asked to play it for you from Morris. Have a listen to this.
Hi Jenny, how are you doing? On behalf of the men of Ireland, I'd like to apologise to you on behalf of the gobshite you ran into, you know. It's people like him that get men all over Ireland a bad name. A gobshite looking for attention, an attention seeker. His mother probably didn't breastfeed him and he feels left out. But at the end of the day, you're lucky, because you're probably one of the first women in Dublin, never mind Ireland, to run into what we call a life support machine for a penis. Cheers, thanks Morris.
No, isn't that nice? Not all,
not
all bad.
I was kind of holding the lat on. That is a very nice message of support. So thank you. That was Morris. Was what I got to call it.
It was,
so,
yeah.
There is a lot of there's a lot of chivalry out there, and I know that men can be embarrassed by other men like that. But yeah, no, that's a nice message. So thank you to your caller.
All right, great to talk to you, Jenny. And like we said, if somebody feels like judging somebody just because they happen to be wearing a face mask, just mind your own business and let them get on about their day. Jenny Dixon, thanks very much indeed for talking to us on Opinions Matter. And we'd like to hear from you. Send us a WhatsApp to 085 825 2626. And you already heard Leonard's message, where in Spain now they don't have to wear face coverings out in public, which they did have to do. But he's continuing to do it, even though he doesn't have to do it, if you know what I mean. 085 825 2626 is our number. And we're asking you, what goes through your mind when you see somebody wearing a face mask out on the street? And I want you to just WhatsApp me the answer. Stephen sent us this.
I think the looks that you get off people for not wearing one is a lot more popular, and is happening a lot more than the other way around. Because you do see people who are probably all fully vaccinated and everything now, and they're fogged up glasses looking at you in the shop and you're not even near them, giving you the beady eyes, dirty looks and walking away from you. That's been happening for ages and it continues to happen. Only the other day it happened to me, so these people need to stop doing that as well, and everyone just needs to make up their own minds.
All right, Stephen, thanks very much indeed. 085 825 2626 is our WhatsApp number, and we'd like to hear from you. Have you had an experience where you've been slagged for wearing a face mask in a public place? Maybe, as with Jeremy, it's because your kids are or your young fellow is wearing a face mask. Now, we've had this conversation before.
Yes.
I've an issue with kids that young wearing a face mask. I don't think it's necessary, but who am I to tell you what to do?
Sure, you could say the same. It's not necessary to put a seatbelt on a child when they're in the car then as well, if that's the way you want to go with that. But you do whatever you think is best to protect your child. Okay,
now, Lauren, good morning and welcome to Opinions Matter. Oh, there we are. We press the right button and we'll have you. There we are. Can we hear you now?
Yeah, hello?
Perfect. Now, Lauren, what did you want to say on this? On people judging others because they happen to wear a face mask in a public place?
Yeah, well, I haven't had any experience, but I mean, I have been, like yesterday we went out, we were in Wicklow Jail and that, and like the weather was great and all, but when I came out of there, I forgot all about having my mask on. I was walking around the street. I normally wouldn't wear a mask walking around the street, but sometimes I just completely forget that I've had it on and it just stays on. And I do sometimes feel very self-conscious when I have had it on during, like yesterday was so warm out and everything, and people were walking around in shorts and t-shirts and I had a big mask on, and I was a bit self-conscious of it. But I don't really notice it sometimes. I mean, my kid, I sent in 2 pictures there of my kids yesterday. We were in Wicklow Jail and they wore their mask. Now, I tell them that they don't have to wear the mask if they don't want to, but they wear their mask constantly in school and constantly. They had it on in there. There was nobody around us and they never took their mask off. They don't like taking it off, but I don't. It's not.
And what age are they?
10 and 11.
And they don't like not having the mask on?
No, well, my 10-year-old, now she, like, sometimes will take it off. She doesn't wear it as much, but my 11-year-old, I don't know what her thing about it is, but she is, I don't know where she got it from, but she seems very nervous if she doesn't have her mask with her. I don't know where she gets it from, but and it's because it's not from me, but she wears the mask constantly. She doesn't like being out without a mask.
Right, okay, so it's kind of drilled into her at this stage. Do you think, just as a matter of interest, and I'm interested to know how people feel about this, my personal thing is I cannot wait to get the bloody face mask off my face. I can't stand them. And to me, that'll be a sign of some normality coming back into our lives when you don't have to wear a face mask. Other countries are already doing the same thing. They've stopped forcing people to wear face masks. Is that a sign of normality to you when we get there?
I don't think we will be normal until the face masks are gone. I don't think, as long as the face masks are there, it'll always be COVID, it'll always be everything like that. So I think that once the face masks are gone, we will be back to normal.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's the one thing. Well, no, there's loads of things I'm looking forward to, but it is one thing that I'm definitely looking forward to, being able to take the thing off my face. And like I said, I arrived at a petrol station yesterday and I'd no face mask with me at all and ended up walking in, covering up my face and all that.
Yeah, I've done that, yeah.
Yeah, and it's awful having to do that. And like you said, it looks like you're going to rob the bloody place. Anyway, great to talk to you, Lauren. Thanks very much indeed.
Adrian, bye.
085 825 2626 is our WhatsApp number. Here's another WhatsApp, this time from a different Stephen.
Well, lads, regular listener, when are you going to stop the crap about this COVID? Honestly, enough is enough. Cases every day. Stop reporting cases. Media is the biggest virus of them all. Can you not see through this? No? Honestly, it's absolutely terrible. It's funny, the conspiracy theorists were all right, weren't they? I predict we open after the bank holiday in August and we will be in lockdown by October. Bring that up, lads.
Okay, first of all, Stephen, we and I mean, when I say we, I mean myself and Adrian, have never, ever reported on the COVID numbers on this show or any previous show. And in fact, we have been advocates for not reporting the figures.
Yeah, no, I think, especially at this stage, I think it's time we stopped publishing COVID figures. I do think it's important to know many people are in hospital and all of that, and the figures are very low at the moment. And if there is a dramatic rise in case numbers, well, then yes, we need to hear
know about that.
Yeah, we do.
But as regards, like, we don't go on we have never gone on the show and the first thing, okay, now the COVID numbers, we have blah blah blah. But I do agree with you, and I do take the point that you're making, Stephen. I know RTE came under fire over the weekend. I don't know if you saw the tweet by George Lee that he put up, and it was all to do with the Delta variant and how more transmissible it is.
Yes, I saw that, yeah.
A lot of people, might be able to pull it back up there, but a lot of people got very upset at the tweet that RTE put out by George Lee about the Delta variant. And it was, I mean, I read the tweet, and it was a little video that was accompanying it as well. And it was kind of scaremongering, wasn't it? And
I mean, he was the tweet, if I remember rightly, was saying things like it's X amount of times more transmissible. People can get a bit sicker from it and all of that. But
I think a lot of people are saying he's not a medical professional. So why is he?
Well, he's RTE science correspondent, so he does have. That's his gig. You just found it there. So what exactly did it say?
Okay, so it says, and this is slightly off issue, but just about whether or not the media does scaremonger. And it says, RTE's science correspondent George Lee sets out some of the concerning data about the Delta variant of COVID-19. And RTE put up a little 3-minute video as well, which was all about it's 97% more transmissible than the original virus, double the hospitalization rate. Only 33% protection from the first vaccine dose. And when you see that, you're kind of in two minds. Okay, he's the science correspondent, so obviously this is about science. Do we need to be informed about stuff like that, or is that scaremongering? It's a double-edged sword, isn't it? I mean, anytime I hear about how dangerous and how bad this Delta variant is, I go, oh no, don't want to know. I'm trying to get on with my life.
Well, actually, let's run a very quick poll on this and ask, here's the simple question that we want to ask. Should we stop publishing daily COVID-19 figures? Every single day, the Department of Health, through their Twitter account, publish the latest COVID-19 statistics. So, for example, yesterday, they tweeted, as of midnight, Saturday, the 26th of June, we are reporting 340 confirmed cases of COVID-19, 15 in ICU and 47 in hospital. So just send me a yes or no. And here's the question that I want to ask. Should we stop publishing daily COVID-19 figures? That's a simple question. Just answer yes or no and send it to 085 825 2626. So once again, the question is, should we now, after all we've been through and literally announcing daily case numbers every single day, and I think we're one of the only countries that actually do it, because I know if you're watching the BBC 6 o'clock news, you very rarely see figures.
Yet radio stations here, Irish radio stations, it's normally, if there's nothing else happening in the world that day, it's normally their top story. You know, it's 12 o'clock. Here's the headlines: 300 new cases of COVID. I don't think we need to know this. The figures should be here's how I feel. The figures should be published. Okay. They should be published somewhere where you have to go and look for them. And if you so desire...
Well, they are kind of, in that the Department of Health tweets out the figures every day and has done since March 2020. But even at that, what is the relevance? Maybe weekly figures would be better than every single day. But simply send us a yes or no. So the question we're asking once again is, should we stop publishing the daily COVID-19 figures? Just say yes or no and send it to 085 825 2626. The reason we're talking about this, and I'm going to play his message again. This was a message we got just a while ago from Stephen.
Well, lads, regular listener, when are you going to stop the crap about this COVID? Honestly, enough is enough. cases every day. Stop reporting cases. Media is the biggest virus of them all. Can you not see through this? No? Honestly, it's absolutely terrible. It's funny, the conspiracy theorists were all right, weren't they? I predict we open after the bank holiday in August and we will be in lockdown by October. Bring that up, lads.
All right, that's what we're talking about, and we're asking you a simple question, and we want you to WhatsApp us on 085 825 2626. Should we now stop publishing the daily COVID-19 figures? 085 825 2626 is our number.
Again, they should be there for people to see, but I had to unfollow several journalists on Twitter over the last 6 months.
For this exact reason.
Because they are the prophets of doom and gloom. It's almost like they get off on it. When they hear the figures have spiked, they go onto their phone straight away and they start tweeting. Positive COVID cases up to 600, up to 700. I'm like, stop getting off on that. Stop getting off on misery. There are people who are genuinely living in fear. And, you know, the whole thing about the media is the virus that Stephen's saying. The media have a job as well, Stephen, to report on news stories, but there are ways in which you can do it. And shoving it down our throat day after day with the COVID figures is not helpful.
Okay, Jay, good morning. Welcome to Opinions Matter.
Good morning, Adrian.
How are you?
Welcome back.
Thanks very much indeed. Now,
just on a side note, I won on your show last week.
Say that again?
I won the toaster and the kettle.
Oh, right.
Last Monday off you.
This was a separate thing I was involved in last week.
Yes, I know.
I didn't realise that. Anyway, Jay, what's your opinion on this? On the whole mask wearing and case numbers and all of that?
I thought once we got the vaccines out and rolling and the numbers were up on the vaccines, I thought that was the golden egg for us. We done everything they asked. Everybody fell out with everybody last year. I mean, we were all giving out to each other last year over what was right and what was wrong. We done everything they asked, and now they're telling us, no, that none of that makes a difference.
Yeah, but I have to say, and in fact, it's a conversation that I had with somebody the other day, and this man was an older man. He was in his 70s. He's fully vaccinated. He's delighted to be able to get back to his local to have a pint, even though he's sitting outside. But his big thing was, really, do I have to wear this bloody mask still because I am fully vaccinated? I'm happy enough not to.
I know. I think a lot of us are confused now because of it. A lot of us don't listen to RTE anymore because the way most people look at them now is they're just a spokes machine for the government now. Whatever the government tell RTE to say, they'll drive it home to us in numbers. And it's all fear. The more scared they have us, the more they can manipulate us.
Now, I'm not necessarily agreeing that they need to keep us in fear, but we do still need to know where we're at, because I think one of the biggest fears that they have, and you can understand this, is complacency. Exactly. Yeah. And and we'll talk about this probably tomorrow, if by next Monday we're not going to see hospitality indoors reopening for a couple of weeks, people need to be told why, and it needs to be very clear as to why.
Adrian, the hospitality need to be told now because they are putting their orders in for opening up next week.
Now, I know that the Taoiseach and the government are saying today that they will let hospitality know tomorrow. They will make an announcement tomorrow as to whether they're going to delay the reopening or not.
Well, if so many of us vaccinated, what is the problem? The big thing was we're all staying in till the vaccine comes. That's what they drove home last year for the whole year. Everybody's done it. We've all done it. I even got my first job. I'm just waiting on my second one. I'll wear the mask if I'm going in and out of the shop, just out of common courtesy, because I just don't want to upset people. But why did we put ourselves through all that if nothing has changed?
Yeah, well, at this stage, and again, I'm talking as somebody who's lucky to be fully vaccinated, because I know an awful lot of others aren't. So I am one of the lucky ones.
And I'm just wondering, you're scratching your head, why am I still wearing this bloody mask?
Exactly.
Why can I not go here? Why can I not go there?
Exactly, and that's how a lot of people are starting to feel. We were talking with Jenny Dixon a while ago about wearing a face mask on the street in broad daylight and getting slagged over it. Do you ever wear a mask out on the street?
No, I literally have it in my pocket, and if I'm walking into the shop and everybody else has a mask on them, I'll throw it on me if just, you get the looks. But,
all right, stay there.
Adrian, sorry, before you go, we need to change Nessa. We need fresh thinking in there. They're gone stale. They're one-dimensional now. They have tunnel vision. It's this way or no way. We need fresh thinking in there. We really do.
Well, we'll see if we get it this week. Something tells me we may not get fresh thinking this week. But anyway, we'll wait and see. Jay, thanks very much indeed for talking to us on Opinions Matter. 085 825 2626 is our WhatsApp number. Brian, good morning and welcome to Opinions Matter.
Morning, Adrian.
Brian, what did you want to say on this?
Oh, no, I've always said it's a case of it is inherently news. It should be there. If you don't want to know it, you always know it's going to be the first thing on the news. Skip the first minute or just skip the news. If you don't know news, it's inherently new. It's simple as that. You don't have to watch it, but it is news.
And yes, it is news, but it's news now, certainly for me, that goes in one ear and out the other, because there was a time that...
Hang on, Adrian, you wouldn't be saying that if the figures went up to 1,000 tomorrow, which they're not going to, but if they did go to 1,000 tomorrow, it wouldn't go in one ear and out the other.
No, maybe not, because that would make major headlines. But Brian, do you think we need to stop publishing the daily COVID figures?
No, 100% not. And if we did stop publishing, and like Jeremy was just saying there, if there is a massive spike, who's the one to make a decision? What figures I have to hit for the people to tell people? You have to do their own decisions. Somebody sitting there going, "Oh look, it hit like 7,000. Now we better tell them." The last time I heard it was 500. So how do we know what's going on? How do we know?
Mind you, one of the arguments here is that the virus now at this moment is spreading amongst young people. Those young people couldn't be arsed watching RTE News or whatever. They, those figures mean nothing to them.
Oh yeah, I know, but the figures mean something to the rest of the people. Everybody who watches news.
Okay, so you think it is important to continue to publish on a daily basis, on television news, on radio news, the daily COVID figures. You don't think, like I said, and I know, Jeremy, you're arguing the point with me, but I couldn't tell you what yesterday's figures were, only for I looked it up there a second ago. I used to know, oh my God, it's after going up a bit, or it's after going down a bit, and all of that. But maybe because now I'm vaccinated, I really couldn't care less at this stage.
Yeah, I mean,
the vaccination doesn't mean that you can still get it. You can still get new variants there.
Yeah, but I'm not worried about it anymore. Do you know what I mean?
No, let me ask you about the question. If they published road death figures every week, supposing every Friday at 12 o'clock, every single news outlet reported on road death figures, would it make you drive safer?
It may. Yeah, it may. Jay, let me bring you back in for a second. Jay, he's saying clearly, yes, we still need the COVID-19 figures to be published every single day.
Why? I mean,
what harm is it doing for you listening to
it? It's because all it's doing is worrying people unnecessarily. I'm sorry, there's people still out there that are afraid to come out of their homes because of this. You can't live like this. We all know how bad this nasty disease is. For them. Sorry?
And not having the information will make it safe for them for what's actually really happening out in the street.
Come here. The cases ain't really what's happening. I mean, if they tested every single person in this country today, just imagine they could do that. I'd say the vast majority of us have some form of it. I mean, judging by the last 18 months from what I can gather, it does kill the vulnerable. It does. But most of us have it. And we don't know we have it.
Say that again. Most of us have had it and we don't know we had it.
Well, according to the bloody scientists, we're all asymptomatic, or you could have it, but you won't know you have it. You know, I mean, if you listen to what you were given out to us last year, you wanted to go for tests. And the big thing was, you may be a carrier, but you don't know you have it.
Mm.
So it doesn't make sense.
All right, let me read a message. Let me read a message that's just come into us, and it says, the number of new cases should be reported daily. Only idiots or those who think COVID is a hoax think different. If the number of cases isn't updated daily, then it'll embolden those idiots. Why are people afraid of the truth? Now, Jay, what would you say to that?
Well, number one, I'm not an idiot. I'm not a COVID denier. I know there's a nasty bug out there killing people. I'm not stupid. You know the way? I'm just saying, do we really need to scare the living bejesus out of people? Do you not think we've had enough over the last 18 months? I mean, according to Leo bloody Varadkar at the start of this thing, was going to wipe out a quarter of the population. You know, we had us on tender hooks and on the edge of our seats literally from day one. And then all we seen was the numbers weren't going out of control. You know, we had a proper health system. It should have been all right. I think the government are doing this to keep the eye off them, because they really, really, really lined their own pockets and let the people of Ireland down. That's all they've done. They've all got richer, and all we're doing is living in fear and ratting on each other now. I mean, that's all we're doing. And they're just bringing in all these laws, taking away our liberties in all different ways. And I'm now COVID denier, as I said. I went and got my first vaccine. You know, I've done everything I had to do. I kept my kids safe. You know that way. So I'm not a denier. But I just think it's time we got ourselves back together.
But when it comes to the publishing of daily figures, you think at this stage there is no
put them
need.
Out there. Yeah, put them out there on the net. Everybody knows the HSE website. Everybody knows RTE's website. Everybody knows all the major news outlets. Put them out there. But they don't need to stand up on telly and like the Grim Reaper tell us, oh, there's so many more cases. Cases ain't leading to death. There's 300 odd cases. There's only 46 people in hospital from it. That's nothing.
And Brian,
what's the problem?
Brian, isn't that the fact that ultimately at this stage in the pandemic, we need to be looking at the amount of people getting very sick who are in hospital or in ICU, and that's really all we need to know, because the young crowd that are getting it now and are spreading it now, generally speaking, aren't ending up in hospital.
Yes, I can agree with that. But knowing the current cases will give at least an indication towards the trajectory of the disease and where.
But do the general public need to know that? Yes, the health experts need to know that. Dr. Tony Holohan needs to know that. But do I need to know?
Oh, do you need to know, or would you like to know? It's a case of if you want to not listen and go la 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 la. Okay, you don't need to know. If you want to know, it's a choice, and that the information should be freely available.
But it is. But there's a difference between it being freely available and it being top of the 6-1 news on television.
Well, yes, but as the other caller was mentioning, go to the websites. Like, for example, there are blind people who can't read newspapers or go to a website. All they have is a radio and people to talk to find out the information. So if they listen to the news, where are they supposed to get it? If it's not being broadcast and they're interested in it, just for example.
All right, both of you, Brian and Jay, thanks very much indeed for talking to us on Opinions Matter. 085 825 2626 is our WhatsApp number. We're talking about... conversation kind of got sidetracked, as it always does with us. We're talking about daily case numbers. We're talking about wearing face masks and whether or not you get slagged for wearing face masks. The only people I ever laugh at where it comes to face masks is, and I mentioned this already, somebody driving in their car on their own with a face mask on. Why would you do that?
I got the reason. I found out the reason because I used to do it. I used to think this was ridiculous as well. Our delivery driver, when he arrives with Nando's on a Friday night, you see him pulling up in the car and he has the face mask on. And I asked him about it. And apparently the reason he does that, it makes perfect sense, is because every time you put your mask on and take it off, your hands are actually touching the mask.
Okay, that's fine for a delivery driver. I'm talking about just ordinary punters in their cars with their face masks on. Why? They're on their own.
So what, Joe driving...
The fella yesterday he was driving a lovely Merc with a face covering his entire face. Yeah. He's not a delivery driver.
Maybe he just doesn't want people knowing he drives a Merc. Maybe that's why he was covering
All right,
his face.
Adrian sent us this WhatsApp voice note to 085 825 2626.
Hey guys, Adrian in Kilmanagh here. I'm fully vaccinated now since last week, but the guy that was, or the nurse, whoever it was that was doing me, said to still wear a mask when in shops, etc., as there is a slight chance that you can get it, you can still get it even though you're vaccinated. So it's not much of an ask really, is it? And it's not going to be forever, so yeah. But sometimes you forget when you're going into shops to put it on, and people are looking at you, and then it dawns on you, haven't got my mask on. So yeah, like, it is an inconvenience, and especially when you're on the Lewis, it's like a sweat box.
All right, Adrian, thanks very much indeed. Very quickly, send us a message to 085 825 2626. And we're also trying to find out whether or not you fully support the government or the state publishing daily COVID-19 figures, or whether or not at this stage it's time to get rid of them. This is from Adina.
Good morning to everybody. I find wearing face masks outdoors in open air quite unnecessary. Although I do understand people leaving it on their face, forgetting on their face while they are coming out of a shop. And I would find it quite impolite and just rude if somebody made comments on other people wearing masks. I don't think it's anybody's business whether you wear a mask outdoors, if that's what makes some people comfortable and feeling safe. Although at the moment here in Hungary we are measuring 20-25 degrees in the morning, and wearing a mask is very, very uncomfortable in the warmth. Thankfully, we have reached over half of the population, so over 5 million people being vaccinated with their second doses. So from today on, we are not required to wear face masks in public places and in closed places also, which is quite good news. But back in Ireland, I do remember around February, March, when it was quite chilly, I would have used the mask outdoors just to cover half of my face and keep it warm. I did think that was quite functional for that purpose. Yeah, that's it. Love the show, guys.
All right, Adina. Nice,
it is, by the way.
Nice to have you still watching us in Hungary on Opinions Matter.
There are positives to the masks, and one of them is people that you don't want to bump into in the shops if you put the mask right up. They don't. Have you never walked by someone you knew in the last 6 months?
Tried to avoid them again.
The other one, people that you absolutely don't like. And you know, when you're talking to them, you have a sour face on you. They'll never know you have a sour face. You don't have to brush your teeth every day.
No, but really, that's it. Keep the face mask so you don't have to brush your teeth.
Okay, but the bad breath thing. Say, for instance, the other day, I had a chicken tikka masala roll for lunch. Have you ever had one, by the way?
Yeah, they're lovely.
Oh, my God. And normally after I'd have a chicken tikka masala roll for lunch, and if I bumped into somebody, I'd be like, hand over the mouth. I'd be very conscious about it, because have you ever got a tikka masala belch in your mouth?
Yes.
Or in your face?
Rank.
Yeah, it's not nice. Anyway, happened to bump into an ex-colleague of ours the other day, and was chatting to him. And as I was chatting to him with my mask on my face, I did a big tikka masala belch. And it didn't even go out. It stayed in the mask.
So that's the reason to keep the face mask.
This is okay. It's not medical advice I'm giving you here, but if you like spicy food or food that actually smells rank on your breath, keep the mask on and you won't be conscious.
Mary, good morning and welcome to Opinions Matter. How are you?
Good, thanks.
What did you want to say on this conversation?
The masks. The masks that people are wearing are actually pointless. They don't protect you from bacteria or spores. If you read the packaging and the small print, it says for the reusable ones, they're for style only. They're not to protect you. But yet you're promoting these filthy, dirty masks on people's mouth. The amount of skin conditions, cold sores, lung conditions from the dirty masks that we're being forced to wear, like muzzles, in fairness. I wouldn't mind if people were properly,
hang on a second,
if they were properly wearing them, that you weren't pretending that they were doing good for you. Stop now, because you don't have a clue about masks.
Okay, Mary.
I worked all my life with masks. You're wearing one-ply little tissues across your mouth. For what?
Okay, Mary.
To be in the crowd. Because you're afraid to take off the mask.
Anytime I've seen the ones being sold in the shops, like the cloth ones, and they have all these lovely designs, it does say on a sign, these are not medically approved masks.
Yeah,
so
but therefore, why are you wearing them? Why are people wearing them then?
Well, I don't know. I wear the medical ones. My wife.
Well, you don't, because you don't work in... Well, where do you get your medical mask? Made in China, is it?
Well, I don't know.
The little flimsy blue one that you think you're looking like a surgeon. They're not surgical masks. They're cheap masks you're buying from China, one ply. So you can't be telling me you're wearing surgical masks. You're not.
So hang on.
You couldn't afford to go and get surgical masks.
Okay, so what's the point you're trying to...
the way you're throwing them around.
Mary, what's the point you're trying to make here?
They're filthy. You're not using them properly. You're not using... There's no point. You're not using them properly. A mask is a disposable item of PPE that should not be touched, should be put on, take off, put in the bin. You don't wrap it in your pocket and put it in your car on your gear stick and then think, look at me, aren't they all bad for not wearing masks?
That's where I keep
I'm going
mine.
to put my dirty one on.
Yeah.
Of course you do, yeah, because of course you would, yeah.
Gobshite,
The genius that has you're the great man that has the surgical mask that's wrapping around your gear stick and then giving out about people that have a mind of their own that knows the masks don't work.
Okay, Mary, what do you do where it comes to mask wearing? Do you wear a mask?
Very rarely. If I do, I have the HSE proper a disposable mask. If I'm made to wear it, I put it on.
Okay.
It comes off, it goes into the bin outside the shop. Not on the ground, not back in the car, not for someone else to use in case you don't have one. Oh, here, wear mine.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that happen. Yeah.
They're absolutely filthy, and we're causing more destruction to our environment, to our health. For what? It's not protecting us.
Okay, David wants to have a word with you. He doesn't like what he's hearing out of your mouth, Mary. Your mouth that doesn't have a face mask.
Okay, hang on there for 1 sec. Let's have a listen to David.
That woman hasn't got a clue about face masks with her 1-ply. I sell 3-ply and 4-ply, and some of them are surgical masks, the exact same ones that doctors and nurses wear. So your one can shut her mouth because she hasn't got a clue what she's talking about, talking over everybody. Cheers.
There you are, Mary.
Oh, he's gas. Of course he's going to be promoting masks because half them are after making a living from selling dodgy masks and hand-making cloth masks with their dirty hands and selling them to people. Seriously.
So
and his 2-ply and his 3-ply. I didn't know a surgical mask came in 4-ply.
Well, how many?
That's one on
hang
me now.
on, Mary.
Should be a 3-ply mask.
Mary, it's not a mask you need. It's a cup of tea to calm you down there. How many ply? How many ply do I need on my mask? How many plies should I have?
3.
3 ply. Okay. And anything less than 3 ply is crap, basically, is it?
You're just putting tissue on your mouth. You're not even wearing them properly. You're touching them with your hands. If COVID is what you're saying it is, you're touching them with your hands. You're handling money. You're pushing a door of a handle. You're going in and out of bathrooms.
Yep. By the way,
you're touching the mask again.
Mary, I have to say, and Adrian, I have to say, on several occasions I've left the mask in my trouser pocket and washed the trousers in the washing machine. It doesn't even damage in the washing machine.
They're well made.
They're very well made.
Yeah, but your money's well made too, but we're not putting that around our mouth, are we?
Mary, let me ask you then, you obviously want to see this mandatory wearing of face masks in indoor settings. You want to see that being gotten rid of,
What do you think, Adrian? What do you think?
Well, come on. Yeah, but think about it, lads. I know now. Come on, use your own brain. You can go in and sit in a hotel and take the mask off. But if I'm not booked into a hotel, I have to put the mask on to walk by the people without the mask to go to the toilet.
Now, on that,
how does the mask work there?
Yeah, no, I actually agree with a lot of lot of what you're saying. The logic, yeah, and it makes no sense that I was talking to somebody the other day, and he has a restaurant here. And right beside him is a hotel there. His restaurant is actually twice the size of the restaurant in the hotel.
Yeah.
And the one in the hotel is open, and his one isn't open, that makes absolutely no sense whatsoever.
Come on, Mary. Muzzles, just to keep you quiet.
Muzzles.
That's it.
But Jesus, take a lot of a muzzle to keep you quiet, Mary. Holy God.
Look, in fairness, someone needs to stand up in the country because it seems everyone else has got no balls lately. They're all afraid.
Okay,
They're either making the masks or selling them.
Okay, so 3-ply masks and don't hang them off your gear stick.
Just don't wear any.
Well, no, you can't say that either, Mary. They they cause some protection. You know, if you
don't, will you stop? You're not a doctor. You don't know that. You're only listening to RTE. You don't know that.
Yeah.
But you're not a scientist. You don't know the facts.
You're not a scientist.
Okay,
you're only guessing. You're following what you're watching.
Yeah, sheep, that's me.
That's why they're called programs, so they can program you.
That's why I'm all here. We go.
Right.
All right.
It's on RTE there.
Bye.
Good man.
Bye.
Bye, Mary. Great to talk to you.
Oh, my God.